October 19th, 3:27 PM, Wright & Co., Law Officers. So, we made a child cry on the stand. That wasn't great. Too bad, I'm sorry I missed him. Maya.
I know, I mean, I was very glad of Mia's help.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, yeah, when Maya's in channeling mode, certainly at least right now, she's got absolutely no clue what the hell's going on in the outside world. She's just off in her own little world.
Do you think she has, like, an interdimensional hidey hole, like a man den, really, that she can hide in?
I mean, I would think that Maya will have a Maya den in her head somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me. She seems like that kind of girl.
Indeedy so. Alrighty, no time like the present. Let's go and have a chat with Will Powers.
Exactly, because we need to find out a little bit more from him what the hell is going on with the other people at the studio, because we now know that basically either D. Vasquez or Salmonella or one of the other people, but it's going to be one of those two because they're the only named characters we have, are the murderer.
Indeedy so.
So we need a bit more information.
Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help.
Detailed, gossip, drama, that's what we need.
Oh, Richie, you're on fine form this morning. Well, this afternoon, really. WP, what you got for us? Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. Genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days.
And that leads to so many terrible, terrible films.
Yeah, ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. But there's so many live-action Disney movies, you've got no idea. Too many remakes. You know, I was reading like well, not actual review, but a paragraph summarising a review. It said, Rachel Ziegler, she shines in this movie, whereas Gal Gadot puts on the worst performance of her career.
Doesn't surprise me. That sounds about right.
Anyway, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella.
I wish they didn't.
Yeah, I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call though. Wow, Richie. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. These jokes were just okay back in the day. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Huh. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global.
Funny that.
5 years ago. Interesting. Okay, well, I think that's about all we're going to get out of Powers, so let's head to the studio.
Yes, and I'm sure we can get some more information out of good old Windbag here, because I think she's going to have a nice little time having a bitch about the producer and the director.
The old Windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think her guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station, if we wanted. You eat, you die. Phew, she's alive. Alright, old bag, what you gotta tell us? I was wondering about D. Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Oh, him. He's an asshole. He's soft, a pushover. Does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it.
He most definitely does.
Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? Oh, you sweet summer country bumpkin child. Alright, what about Hammer? About Mr. Hammer. Ah! I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this! Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper, my poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible.
I think it might be a little bit more than impossible. But it is an interesting old sort of concept of big stars randomly disappearing from the spotlight.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are for tragic but really worthwhile causes, like obviously Rick Moranis, massive star, just vanished because obviously his wife tragically passed away and he had to look after his kids.
Yeah, same thing happened to Dan Green, actually.
Yeah, which obviously awful situation, but you got sort of that side of things. You've also got examples like Brendan Fraser, where through no fault of his own, basically got blacklisted from the because he claimed that someone had sexually assaulted him.
Mm-hmm.
Then wasn't able to do anything for years, and it's only been really the last kind of 5 years that he's managed to make a comeback to the screen, and it's fascinating when things like that happen, but also really sad that people don't always get to, dip out of the spotlight on their own terms.
No, yeah, it's usually either taken from you or you're forced into it. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, Jesus, Maya, I guess she's a gossip or whatever. Now, everything in due time, pal. ... Well, the testing solution on the plate changed colour, alright.
Ding ding ding.
So, the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record. The investigation. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I'd buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. Evidence is kind of skewing towards the bigwigs here, isn't it, Rich?
Yes. But obviously Edgeworth is going to continue to push his route through to the end.
His agenda, yes.
But, hey, that is Edgeworth as he is right now. Hopefully in time we'll be able to show him that, there is a way to the truth that doesn't involve stepping on everybody into the mud.
Indeed. Also, I just want to say, when you said show him, it sounded like Discord errored for a second, and it made it sound like you were saying blow him. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, a lot of people would already quite like to blow Edgeworth.
Yes. Thank you, Richie.
And that is the end of that story.
Indeedy so. Alright, move. Dressing room. Oh, hey, Penny. Hello. What are you doing here? What? Nice line read, Tom. Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so...
I mean, it's a little bit presumptive, but...
Yeah. Well, she's a runner. She gotta get ahead of things. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No!
Poor Maya. Her entire soul has just disintegrated.
It was the only thing she had after Mia passed away.
I know, and now they're taking that away from her too.
On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. That coincides with his return. Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. Seems like it's cursed, Richard.
I very much think so.
The film set. Was that trailer part of the film set then? Interesting. What do you mean the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. You know, it's super ironic that in an episode talking about the end of one tokusatsu thing, Power Rangers is supposedly being rebooted by Disney.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Disney did have a lot of the more well-beloved seasons under their belt, like SPD and Time Force and so on. Studio policy. Why aren't they going to make kid shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. Wow, is this place owned by fucking Zaslav? That's Warner Brothers, Richard.
Yes, sorry, I had a bit of a blank there for a moment.
Yes, come on, get on board, Richie. The train is moving.
Oh, it doesn't stop.
I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this.
Definitely need that path to glory.
A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. And certain older demographics as well. You would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay. But what can I do? A simple runner?
Write a script.
Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Oh boy. Here comes truth. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it was an accident or on purpose. The tabloids would rip him apart.
Yes, and the really sad thing is that we have direct real-life evidence of situations like this occurring within recent living memory, and it's not pretty.
Are we referring to a certain Baldwin brother?
Yes, that's the one that immediately comes to mind. And that was messy beyond all belief.
It really was. What, you're still slinking around talking about that bouldering case? It's been years now. If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good.
No, and I think she's about to go even further south when we pull out the sick goss that we've got going on right now.
It's all due to Hammer. Oh, you have no idea. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. Oh boy. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That assistant we talked to? Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Hammer would never hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Very ironic. I suppose you think this is fun? But no, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof?
Thankfully, we do have proof. We have multiple bits of proof, actually.
We do. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume.
Because we have the steak plate, and we have the sleeping pill bottle.
Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. Ha! I bet Powers put it in there himself. Even a lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes. Why would he not take them separately, though?
Yeah, why would he put it in his food? But yes, there we go. Sorry, old bag, but Mr. Hammer wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
No. Although, to be fair, I think, his hand was pushed in this instance.
Well, most definitely, yes.
I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag, this is a very rare piece of music. It doesn't really play all that often from what I recall.
Yeah, you're right, this is very, very rare.
That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand. Poor old Hammer never meant to harm anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Oh no.
Oh, yes.
This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. 5-year-old photo added to the court record. I wonder if Vasquez wears a veil now, as penance.
It's a possibility, yes. But also, I do believe that, obviously when that photo was taken, sort of wind could have blown it off.
Yeah, that's true. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2. Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. I guess we'll have to go to Studio 2 and find out.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Hey, Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Hey. Yeah, okay. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Alright, well, let's see if she has something to say when I show her this! She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well... Old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick.
God, he's so forgetful.
Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Alright, you started to sound like an RPG villain winding up to a boss fight here. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick,
Don't like where this is going.
She went inside the trailer, I agree. What's so important that, like, you have to discuss it inside, away from prying eyes?
Yes.
Humph. You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure?
She has got a point on this one. We don't have any evidence that that previous thing was an accident.
Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way! You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Huh. Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo in the studio.
Sounds about right.
She wrenched it out of his hand, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys? Uh-oh. Who are they? Professionals. Hired goons, if you will.
Mm-hmm. They did say that she had mafia connections.
Yeah, I guess that meant to be Yakuza, but since this takes place in America and she's meant to be Italian, they're the Italian mafia. I don't know many mafioso who have pompadours.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a shame you'll have to miss it.
Yeah, it's also a shame that I think this is the only time these characters ever appear in any form ever.
Well, why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, a race away. No! Hold it right there! I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now.
Gumshoe coming in clutch with the cornered.
And it won't be the last time. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. If he was even a split second later, well, one, he would still be outside, so he would have caught the guys taking us away. But two, that could have gone horribly wrong.
It could have done.
I'm sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. I thought I was going to make it a 2-for-2 sister special there. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next time, the conclusion.